understanding how God really sees you and how he really feels about the relationship between you and him. For so many years, I thought that God was semi-angry with me all the time. Every time I talked to him, I thought all he wanted to talk to me about was all the ways that I messed up, all the ways I needed to improve. That's not a very fun relationship. I kept coming to prayer because I thought I had to. It was a duty. It was not very enjoyable. I thought that he was a taskmaster who I needed to perform for and work for. But really, he's just looking for someone that will love him and be in relationship with him, talk to him, get to know him. When I really got a revelation that God delights in me, it changed everything. Now, to be fair, I'm still fighting to believe that he delights in me. There's days where I don't feel like God delights in me, but he is greater than my feelings. And he reminds me over and over again how much he likes me. He likes spending time with me. He doesn't just have to because he created me and it's the right thing to do. He actually wants to. He actually died on a cross so that he could forever. I want us to look at a couple of verses. First, let's start with Isaiah chapter 62. God is speaking to Israel. Let's take a look. He starts by telling her she'll be called by a new name. Starting in verse 4, he says, "It will no longer be said to you, forsaken, nor will your land be called desolate. You will be called Hephzibah. My delight is in her, and your land Beulah, because the Lord delights in you. And to him your land will be married. And as a bridegroom rejoices over the bride, so your God will rejoice over you." In this verse, later, God is actually going to talk about the watchmen, those that he has appointed on the walls day and night. And right before he appoints the watchmen, he says, "Hey, I like you. You're no longer going to be called forgotten about. You're going to be called the Lord delights in her. You're going to be Hephzibah." Over the last 3.5 years, this has been the theme of our prayer sets many, many, many times. And it's because the Lord wants us to believe it and he wants us to know it. That he likes us. In Psalm 18, verse 19, David said, "The Lord rescues me because he likes me, because he delights in me." And David was in sin right around the time he wrote this psalm. What if we believed that God likes us even when we sin, even when we mess up? God likes us. He enjoys us. He enjoys the relationship with us. He wants us to enjoy the relationship with him. What about this? You're a father and you're watching your child try to put a puzzle together. And you are enjoying watching that child try to find the right pieces and put them in the right spot. And when that child picks up a piece and puts it in the wrong spot, do you get angry and frustrated that he hasn't gotten it yet? No, you're just enjoying watching the child try. You're enjoying watching the process of the child growing and learning what the different puzzle pieces are and what it's supposed to look like in the end. That is similar to how God feels about us. We're children to him. He's not mad at us because we don't have it all together. Even the Apostle Paul, by the end of his life, said, "I haven't reached perfection. I'm striving to lay hold of that which he laid hold of me, but I have not reached it." We need to be confident in the way that the Lord feels about us. And the way that we grow in that is just by spending time with the Lord and letting him teach us that he delights in us, that he really, really, really likes us. He doesn't just love us because he has to, doesn't just kind of put up with us. He actually really wants to be with us and he enjoys it. He enjoys it so much. So why don't you join me in the journey of starting to believe he likes me, he delights in me. I bring him joy. When I believe that about him, I'm going to want to spend more time with him. If I believe that he's just kind of mad at me and has a chip on his shoulder about me all the time, I'm probably going to stay away from him, or I'm just going to offer up prayers that are just rote. But when I really think that he likes me and wants to be with me, I'm going to spend a lot more time with him. I'm going to be a lot more honest with him about my heart, my feelings, in conversation, us getting to know each other. I'm going to let him get to know me.